Hi Fantasy Managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my free hit side for game week 32. I am free hitting and this is the initial side that I'm going to put together for game week 32. So if you enjoy this video, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, let's take a look. So there is a reason why I'm free hitting in game week 32. It has been on the cards for quite some time. This has been planned. We've got teams blanking with Brighton, Chelsea and both Manchester clubs being involved in the FA Cup semi-final. Their games have been postponed for game week 32. They will be slipped in further down the line, yet to be confirmed, some of them. So I know that Brighton are already going to double our fixtures further down the line. Manchester United double in 34. We have Manchester City double in 34. There'll be other fixtures to fit in later down the line as well. So I have stacked up on Brighton, Manchester City and Manchester United players, and I don't want to get rid of them to try and negotiate game week 32. So the plan has always been to free hit, keep hold of those players, and also be able to target some of those players that perhaps no one else has been able to if they haven't got a free hit. Because most people will want to keep those Brighton and Manchester United City players for later on as well. So for all those reasons, I'm quite hopeful of getting a good overall boost for my free hit, and at the same time be able to maximise those doubles coming up. So the side that I've put together we'll have a look at. Now this is very much provisional. I will put together a far more sort of concrete side after we've had team news come through later on in the week, and also those European fixtures that might affect things. And then we'll talk about captaincy and the first 11 that I'm going to put out. So make sure you hit that notification button to get the details of that. Then, in the meantime, I'm looking at Johnston in goal. I think Palace's fixture looks pretty decent against Everton. All the stats we give you are prior to game week 31 fixtures, because I just want to get onto this quite early. Palace look pretty tight at the back, and I think Everton goal shy. He looks like a side that I want to target defensively. There are better fixtures for teams in terms of defences, and we will definitely jump on them. But there's also some of the better sides that are targeting perhaps some of those other sides that we expect to get some returns on. We just want to hit those attacking returns. So defensively, going for Johnson in goal. As a backup, I've got no issues whatsoever going with Everson at home to Wolves. 3.8, very cheap. But money is not too much of a problem when we look at this side, as you'll see in a minute. So those two in goal, absolutely fine with that. And then at the back, I've gone Robertson, Forest, one of the worst attacking away from home in the league this season. So I do want to jump onto that Liverpool defence. Robertson, fairly attacking as well, 0.3. It may be disappointing so far this season for Liverpool, but you know what? They can get attacking returns, and I'm pretty confident they'll get a clean sheet against Forest. If I'm not going to target that fixture, I don't know which fixtures would be more appealing. So Robertson gets the nod in that defence. Trippier at home to Tottenham. I think for his just attacking returns as well, he's just worth having. He's been right up there with the best of him. Only Trent slightly better XGI, but Trippier nailed on. Free kicks, all set pieces, and just generally been absolutely brilliant this season for Newcastle. At home to Tottenham, yeah, I think there's good potential there for a clean sheet as well. And bearing that in mind, I'm not sure I'd play him, but I could definitely have Shah as a backup. Don't mind doubling up on that Newcastle defence. Again, I think that's really open at the moment though, but Shah's in there. Alongside him, I think Tyron Mitchell, decent attacking forward. If I want to go decent attacking fullback, if I want to go for someone in that Palace defence, he offers possibly the best attacking route. Don't think he's offered a great deal going forward, but out of all of those Palace players, most attacking potential. And then finally, rounding it off with Trent, who would definitely be in my starting 11 for this fixture at home to Forest. Looking at the midfield then, I think I have to start looking at those Arsenal players. Martinelli's been brilliant. At home to Southampton, bottom of the league, I think he's an absolute no-brainer. Look at that XGI. The fact that he's so good value for money-wise, just as a cherry on top, 0.62. Even better than Saka, who would be alongside Martinelli on pens, nailed. He absolutely has to get in. Martinelli, Saka, both in that Arsenal midfield. A good fixture at home to Southampton. Alongside them, Mo Salah, again, I think he would be in and around that conversation for captaincy for the fixture at home to Forest. You'd expect Liverpool, nothing else to play for. They desperately need to win to stay in European hunt. Salah, pretty much the only nailed on player in that midfield or that attack that I would want to get on. I would love to have two Liverpool attackers, but I'm just unsure about Gakpo, Nunez, Jota, Firmino, Diaz coming back. all of those players just sharing minutes amongst each other, I'm just not sure if I want to risk going for any of them. But I know Salah's pretty much nailed on. Still on penalties, quite possibly. We might not know that until the game or we get another penalty. But Salah, I think he's the only one I can trust to definitely get up there. He might not have had the greatest season by his own high standards, and he is expensive. But for for just a free hit, a one-hit wonder, he has to come in. And yeah, captaincy, I'm not going to look too much further than Salah. Andreas is still decent. I don't think he'll be in the first 11, but as a bench option, decent fixture at home to Leeds. Possibly in pens with Mitrovic now out, pretty far forward, really cheap. For his price bracket, there's just no one better, I don't think. Goal threat is there, 0.36 as well. And then finally, making up that quintet of my midfield will be Elise. Again, not sure he would start, possibly 5.4 at home to Everton. Feels a little bit knee-jerk with the lead and the assists he got on that match. But yeah, 5.4 Elise looks a decent option. It's a good fixture for Palace. Let's see how they get on at Southampton. But they've been pretty free scoring under Roy Hodgson since he's come in. Moving into the strike force then. I've got the Brentford versus Villa game, and I have gone for Ollie Watkins and I've gone for Ivan Toney. Basically, I feel that there's no Liverpool players up front that I want to. It's a risk, I feel, going for Nunez. If I knew Nunez was going to start, possibly take Robertson out and play Nunez in there, that would be an option. But I'm just not convinced. You could definitely go for Kane. But as you'll see, I've gone for these two because they're just so proven across the course of the season, both on penalties. Both teams playing pretty well. And just think both in good form. So could I sort of score and draw in this game? Yeah, I could. Could I see both of them get on the sheet? Oh, I think I could as well. Fingers crossed. And then finally, we would have Jesus up front as that final Arsenal player at home to Southampton. You have to feel there's goals in there. His underlying stats have been brilliant this season. And that would make up my 15 players. I'm not quite sure at the moment who I'd be benching, who I'll be starting. I have a bit of an idea that Andreas, Elise, maybe Mitchell or maybe Shaw would go. So it'll be a 3-4-3 potentially. But you do have other options. I could maybe not play Jesus, bring Zinchenko in, and I could go for an Isak or a Kane up front. That is a definite possibility. If you feel that Arsenal are going to get that clean sheet, you want to go down that route. Gakpo. Okay, it's just a minute for Gakpo. If we get news that he's on penalties, that could be a different matter altogether. If I knew he was going to start as well, yeah, I could again go Robertson and Gakpo. I definitely want to live 3 Liverpool players, but Gakpo could be an option there. Instead of Elise, I could go Eze. I feel that's quite nit for Nat. And Elise has a slightly better goal threat, or at least in terms of assists. But as a punt at home to Everton, you could go Eze. I've got no issues with that. And then obviously, we haven't even talked about Harry Kane. Away at Newcastle feels like quite a tricky fixture, but his stats have been brilliant this season. He keeps delivering. So you could play him, take out Jesus, drop Robertson, bring Zinchenko in. There's lots of different options. But I think when I've learnt more about the team news and the way the fixtures have gone in midweek, then I will start to put my 11 together and see who's on the bench, and we will cover that later on in the week. That's it for this one then, guys. That is my free hit side for game week 32. I've provisionally put it together. I will go back over it later on in the week as we get team news, as we look at these European games, take all of that into account. So make sure you hit that notification bell to get the latest free hit side that I'll put together. We'll have the watch list, team selection, all that good stuff before the deadline. So if I don't see you before, take care, good luck, speak to you soon.